I'm live. I'm alive. I'm live. I bloody hope so. Hello, guys. Welcome. Hello, everybody. I hope you're all there. This is the first ever live I've done on YouTube, so I'm hoping it is live. I'm hoping everything is fine. I'm hoping you're all there. Thank you for joining me. Please let me know if you are. At the moment, I don't see. Oh, hi. I got a hi from Sweden. Go on. Anya as well. Jenny. Hi, guys. That's great news. I haven't done this before, so I'm kind of a bit. Oh, I hope I don't make a mess of this because I'm so used to doing the simple and easy camera press. And I'm away, and when I've finished, I just upload it, which is really simple. So it's great to be able to communicate with you. Hey from Toronto, hey from New York, hey from Netherlands. Wow, this is great. Around the world, connecting, holding hands. What a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's the problem I have is that when I do the YouTube videos, it's just like I'm just here with you, but it's like this is different. This is I can actually feel the energy. This is really quite amazing. Can you all see and hear me? Testing 1 2. Can you hear me and see me? That's what I need to know because I'm gabbing away and I don't even know if you can hear me. Is that a yes? Just give me a yes if you can hear me and see me. Oh yes, I got an oh yes. So I think everything's great. That's brilliant. I got a yes. I got another yes. I got another yes. Oh, Mexico! Hello, Mexico. Wow, this is amazing. Hi, guys. I never thought 2 years ago that making the first ever video about a lemon, that, can you imagine? You know, if somebody had said to me, when you get to that earth, you're going to pick a lemon up and you're going to figure out that the energy within that lemon will absorb positive and negative energy, and you'll make a video and you'll get over 100,000 subscribers to be able to share your message to the world. Over 2.2 million people have watched the lemon video, which goes to show that truth cannot be hidden. Truth really cannot be hidden. It always reveals itself in good time. So one of the questions you've asked, guys, I might as well get straight into this. One of the questions you've asked is about the lemon. So I'm going to answer these questions that you've asked me and continually ask as well. And I'll try and answer as many as I can. So the lemon's an interesting thing. Somebody asked me, does it work with limes? I don't know. When I found something that really, really works, I stick with it. Why change it? Why break something that's not broken? And the success rate of the lemon 16 years ago was incredible. People were sharing messages, stories with me. It was underneath my pillow, and I woke up the next morning, Mark, and it was black. And I'd say, wow. And then they'd say, what do I do now? And I said, well, I'm working on cleansing. I'm doing healing sessions. I'm working on certain types of incense. And it's really interesting. It evolved so naturally. It was unreal. So a lot of disbelievers, non-believers, a lot of people who think it's hocus pocus say, well, you know what, a lemon will go off. Stick a lemon, it'll go off. Yeah, it will. A lemon will go off. And there's reasons for lemons going off. Okay, so that could be that your lemon could be in a bowl with other fruit. The other fruit can have an effect on the lemon. So there are a number of reasons, but I don't care about that. What I cared about was, does it work as a lemon on its own? So I took one lemon on its own, straight from the tree, and I put it on a table. And then I took another one from a tree and put it in a bedroom. And I took another one and put it in here and there. And then I brought it to my beautiful workplace, and I put them in the corners of the room. I put them next to clients. And at the end of the day, the following day, I'd come back and I'd see the closest lemon to the client was the most darkest if the client was going through heavy emotional trauma. If all my clients that came that day were filled with happiness and joy and they just wanted to feel better and they weren't filled with anger, depression, bitterness, sadness, grief, then the room would be fine and the lemons would be fine. Individually, I realized really quickly that if you place a lemon direct from a tree or as ripe as possible, or should I say ripe, maybe not the right word, but as fresh as possible, and put it all over your house, put them everywhere, and just watch for a few days and see what happens. And if they start, so there you go. That's one of the questions which was asked about lemons. Again, this is my greatest, powerfulest tool for negative energy when I'm not feeling it. And there are times that you don't feel energy. There are times that you feel so raw, so sad, so angry, so unbalanced that it's hard to feel energy around you because you are actually creating negative energy. So a lemon is a great thermometer for that. So from there, I went on to using cleansing sticks, literally hundreds of cleansing sticks, working alongside Wiccans, shamans, all these people, and I was using loads of sticks from India, from Nepal, from China, from all over the world. And then I found this beautiful, beautiful stick, which was Palo Santo, and I realized it wasn't burning. It was terrible. It didn't burn, and I needed the smoke, and I knew by now that the smoke is the important part for sure. So then I came across a village that created from the bushes of the tree, the Palo Santo, the leaves, the branches, but then I managed to get some, and it was created with two other different types of herbs, and it worked so well. And thus I created the first ever stick, which is here. So I cleanse myself with that stick most days. If I'm feeling bad, I'll give myself a cleanse. If I'm feeling really, really bad because of the environment where I've been, who I've been with, the toxic people in my life, which we're all toxic every now and again, so don't take that as a negative. But you know what? When you're feeling that kind of way, you just want to clear yourself down. If you've not got a tree, if you've not got the sea, if you've not got the energy to clear that away, then Palo Santo is a fantastic stick to use. So, we're going to answer some of the questions that have been asked, okay? So I've got first question here. When are the trios ready? That's kind of like not really a question about uplifting and amazing incitement. This is the trios which I have on my website. They'll be ready. I think I'll be finished with them within the next 4 days. So they should be up and ready within a week. So you'll be glad to know. Plus the fact I've made them more affordable. I brought the sizes down slightly and they're still as powerful. Okay, selfishness. Somebody's asked me about selfishness. Why is my brother, why is my sister, why is my friend selfish? Why are they selfish? It's actually a brilliant question. How many years have I been asking that? As a kid, my friends, I just didn't understand why they were so selfish until I grew up and started realizing, it's not their fault. It really is not their fault. You cannot blame anybody for being selfish because it's just part of who they are. It's part of their natural way. They're selfish. And the reason why is because they're so busy in their own world. They're so busy doing what they need to do. They've not a thought about what's around them. So it's very self-centered. And actually, there's a lot of fear in that as well. And ask yourself this question, would you want to be selfish? No, you wouldn't. So that is a real beautiful thing. If you are a kind, caring, loving, sharing person, that is a superpower, because when you are in the energy of selfishness, you are really, really closed. You don't see life, you don't understand life, and then a lot of disease, a lot of illness, a lot of frustration, a lot of Alzheimer's, a lot of different types of illnesses can affect you. So don't worry too much about the selfish. They're on their own journey. Just send them love. That's all you can do. My father-in-law used to say to my son, when I was doing auctions for charities, he's only doing that because he's making something out of it. When I heard that, my heart broke, and I thought, how could my father-in-law say that? I thought he cared for me and loved me. I realised that when people say things like that, it's because they can only relate to that to themselves, meaning that if he was in the same situation, that's the first thing he'd do. Therefore, anybody who says something online to you or family and friends, that is a great observation to say that's exactly who you are. So make that your point of call. You know what? If they're saying nasty things about me, they're actually saying it about themselves and what they relate to as themselves. They're not actually pointing a finger saying it's you. It's actually pointing back. Remember, when you point your finger at somebody, there's three pointing back at you, at the person saying it. So, next question. Let's have a look. Why am I on my spiritual path? Brilliant questions. Well, what would be the alternative? Ask yourself that. Do you want to be blind? Do you want to walk a life of handbags, Gucci, Armani, looking at everybody else, pointing fingers, being judgmental? Well, I know what I'd rather be. I know there's times you'll probably say to yourself, you know what, I'm sick of this spiritual path. It's so sensitive, and I'm feeling so bad, and I'm feeling so much energy around me. And that's the truth. You're here for those reasons. And you know what? I look back over these years and I felt so much pain, so much suffering. And I've got to tell you, I've seen so much pain and so much suffering. Sat down with my clients going through the most horrific things that you could possibly imagine. It really is a challenge in life, but I do know one thing. If I had the choice to come to this world and be blinded and just live an earthly life, or go through what I've been through up to this moment, I wouldn't change anything, because I've grown so much, and I know that every year that goes by, I'm able to share that information with people who are willing to listen, people who are open and ready to hear it. And you know, just because I'm doing these lives and a few people are listening, you might think, oh, well, you know what, you're touching a few more people. That doesn't matter. I did 14 years of touching one person's soul at a time, and that was just as beautiful and as powerful. So don't ever judge yourself by how many people you're sat with talking to. It can be your child, it can be your best friend, it can be somebody who you've never met before. That is an awesome and powerful thing. It really is. And don't you ever let this world change your mind about that. You know, a lot of people ask me, you know, am I on my spiritual journey? Am I really on the right path? Because everything's going wrong. And you know what? That is so painful to hear. Because nothing goes wrong if you really truly understand life. And you just need to ask anybody who's in their 90s or 100, you know, the path of life is about experience. Don't ever stop believing in that. Experience isn't all about pink fluffy clouds. It isn't about winning the lottery. It isn't about, you know, just feeling good all the time. Experience is experience, and that's the way it is. So why are you on your spiritual path? Because you're bloody amazing, because you're powerful, because you're a lion, because nobody else is like you. And that's what makes you who you are. That's why you're on your spiritual path, because you feel, because you're an empath, because you love. Who should I be guided by? Wow, another brilliant question. There comes a point in your life when you're guided by the gurus, but then you find out the gurus have been having sex with everybody in the cult. You've found out that you've been guided by a teacher that hates you to bits and gets so jealous when you start doing well. You start realizing that these guides are not really teachers, but they are givers of information. Whether it's information they've received, whether it's information that is, you know, past life, who knows? But it's information. Information shouldn't be confused by the guru. The guru is just the guy who sits there giving information, just like you give information to your children, your friends. We're all gurus. But who are we guided by? Well, That's a really easy answer. When you are in any particular place, anywhere you are, whatever you're doing, you have two choices. You can either listen to your guru's information, or you can listen to your own heart information. You can bring them both together and make a decision that I think that's right information for this moment. Or actually, at this moment, it doesn't feel right. So I'll guide myself to where I need to be and what I need to do, regardless whether the outcome is positive or negative. That's not the point. What are you guided by? You're guided by your inner intuition. Of course you are. You know that. That's the highest guide in the world. And that intuition is really amazing. But a lot of you think that your inner intuition is just here. This is it. This is the intuition. It's just here at this point or in this pineal gland. Come on, guys. Your intuition is connected to your heart. Your heart is connected to the almighty cosmos, universe, spiritual energy, the universe. You are connected. We all are. Problem is, we're all disconnected most of the time. Why? Because we eat crap. We take too much sugar, we drink too much alcohol, we take too many drugs, whether it's legal drugs or illegal drugs. We're intoxicated by energies around us all the time that we're not cleansing and clearing ourselves. We're listening and we're brainwashed to social media and mainstream media. So, of course, it's difficult to find that connection, that true connection. So you can walk every single footstep on this planet, and you'll always come back to yourself and you'll say, you know what, after learning all that I've learned, you know what, I think the only person who knows what to do and who should make the choice in my life is me. And once you've got that, then every choice you make and every decision you make, that's it. I've got a friend at the moment, and my friend is trying to set something up, create something. What he's been doing is asking everybody. And you know what? He's so confused, he doesn't know what to do. So I said, why don't you listen to your higher self? Why don't you make the decision and stick with it? And a lot of the time we'll go to people that actually don't have the relevant information. Okay? So if you're wanting to set up a certain whatever it is, so you want to open a fruit shop, and you say to your friend, I've got some lovely lemons here and I want to sell them, but I don't know how much to sell this lemon for. Okay? So my friend says, oh, I think I'd sell that for 60 cents or $1. And then I go to another friend and say, oh, you know what, if you want to sell a lot, I'd maybe sell it at 50 cents or, half a dollar. And what you come to realize is that every single person has their outlook of what this is worth. So their worth is what they value it at. Okay? Who would you really go to know what this is worth? You'd go to somebody who's successful, who sells lemons, who's been selling them for 100 years. 5 years, 10 years. But why would you go to anybody and just ask anybody anything? You'd go to the expert, the one who's proven themselves. And that's not about the lemon. That's about anything in life. Okay? All right. Let's see where we are. Okay. Advice on overcoming crying. This is really simple. I think sometimes you can cry for many years, and that is because you're crying lifetimes of pain and suffering. So you're healing a lot of lifetime. And a tear is a sign of the heart opening, and you're releasing painful energies of memories now, memories past. And sometimes there are times when you cry for memories of the future. It's true. So we do have a psychic ability within us to be able to see the future, and we can cry. So any advice on overcoming it? Crystals are an amazing way of overcoming crying. Healing sessions, whether it's Reiki, how to strengthen the heart. It's normally the heart energy. So if you ask me as a healer, I would always go straight to the heart with the tears. And we're not actually blasting away anything when we work on the heart energy. We are actually blasting energy to strengthen the heart, to become stronger than the pain and the tears that we just sometimes don't know why we cry. A lot of people used to come to me and sit down in front of me for a 1 hour session, and from the start till the finish they would cry all the way through. And I'm talking grown men, rugby players and teachers, scientists. They'd cry all the way through. And when we'd finished, they'd say, "Can you explain why I cried all the way through there?" And I'd say, "It's because your heart is opening." So there's many reasons why your heart opens. And you could have a shut heart because your father beat you, or your mother said you weren't good enough, or whatever, past life. But tears are an amazing, beautiful thing. And what you don't realize sometimes is that you're setting yourself up for your future to become the strongest and most powerfulest person in the world. And you may say to me, "But I've never cried before, and all of a sudden now I'm crying." Well, there is something out there that, I'll give you a for instance. I used to have an auction house, and I came back one night with a briefcase. And in that briefcase was 17, 18,000 pounds after doing a really good sale. I opened the door, and this guy with a mask punched me and started to try and burn my neck with this laser gun. Never worked, of course, because I was looked after by spirit, thank you. Anyway, it ends up I chased him and managed to get the case back, and he was off. So thank you, I got my case back. Following day, I started going into shock. Post-traumatic stress. I started shaking, just constantly shaking. So we have this spiritual kind of protection. So you can be abused in like a punch bag. So you could have a dad or a brother or a sister or a partner who says something that upsets you, and then you let it go. What you don't realize, it stores, because your spiritual self, like your physical self, whether you go through a physical issue or this issue of somebody just abusing you with words, it stores, and eventually you'll break down. And you have to break down because it stores in your body, and when it stores in your body, it causes illness. So again, to finish that advice, how to overcome crying, it's really simple. Don't stop crying. It will stop in its own time, and embrace it and say thank you for crying, because it really is an amazing healing process that you have no idea at the end of this process that you will grow in strength and power, and you will understand your true heart, because your heart becomes even more open, more sensitive, but then it receives more love. It's amazing. It's like, it's me getting your heart and going like that and squeezing it, and then it's all nice and dry, ready to be filled up again with a different type of energy, which is love. Okay, self-esteem crystal. I don't know, there's so many. Most crystals are amazing for self-esteem. The first crystal that came to mind was spirit quartz. It seems to be a really powerful crystal at the moment. It's vibrating really well. Again, I've got to say, I've got to keep saying it, Moldavite is probably one of the best crystals to strengthen you up in so many ways. So get a tiny piece of Moldavite, start working with it with the third eye. You'll start to attune and open up, and self-esteem comes when you become more aware of who you are. That's basically what it is. Your issue as self-esteem is really simple. It means you haven't told yourself you love yourself, and you're waiting for somebody to tell you that you're lovely. Doesn't work. Doesn't matter how many times somebody tells you they love you. You've got to really know you love yourself, and that's what you've got to work on. This spirit quartz is amazing because it helps you see yourself. And actually, whoever's asked that question, you are beautiful, even though you don't believe me. Okay, next question. Is seawater better for cleansing crystals? I actually cleanse crystals by holding it in my hand when I feel at the happiest moment. So when I feel rejuvenated, filled with love, filled with happiness, I'll quickly grab my crystal and hold it and put that same energy into it. When I clear crystals, okay, and numerous crystals with seawater, I will go and get seawater or put them in there. And it's just a cleansing. It's just quick cleansing and clearing. Sometimes I'll do it for a whole night and leave them overnight, and it does a great job. You can't cleanse and clear positive energy within a crystal. There was another question asked of me about to program crystals. Great question. You call it programming, I call it giving it memory. So all crystals, whether it's a bit like mobile phones now, they're listening and hearing everything that you're doing even when they're switched off. And guess what's in a mobile phone? Crystal. So a crystal listens and hears everything that you say and do. It feels everything that you say and do, and it holds that memory in the crystal. What a crystal does, what I realized very quickly when I first started working with them, is that if you put beautiful energy into a crystal and give it to somebody else, they'll feel it. They'll feel that energy. And thus, Pure Energy Healing Crystals came about. So I call it memory. So does negative energy go into crystals? Only one crystal that absorbs and dispels negative energy that I've come across, which is Tektite. Tektite is something special. It's like it's like a sponge. So if you are somebody who's going through a lot of pain and suffering, Tektite, wear it below, round your belly button, and feel the power. It's amazing. Sleep with it, wear it, rub it all over your forehead, and it's an absorber. It's amazing. Some crystals, you can't put them in salt water. Just study it. Google is there, and it really is pretty cool. Some crystals, when they're raw, in its raw I've got them on. I just stick them in there. But to be honest, now I really do like the sunlight. But if you don't have the sunlight, yes, stick them in salt water. Some people sage them as well. But for me, I've got to say it. If you're feeling happy, just grab the crystal and energize it. That's the most powerful, really is the most powerful energy you can put into a crystal. Why do you think I do it every day? Pure energy healers all have over like 10 hours to 100 hours healing work that I've put into it. Memory, memory, memory. Okay, am I doing all right? I hope I'm doing all right. I hope everything's going all right, guys. I hope you're enjoying this. Why do crystals diminish in energy after a while? Diminish in energy after a while. I'm sorry, guys. I really don't see that. What I see is that your issue and problem when you're wearing the crystal, your crystal has just healed you from it. So then you think, oh my, wow, it's not as powerful as it was. Well, of course it was powerful because it was healing what it needed to heal. And you felt it. And you felt this power and this amazing surge of energy. And now I can connect myself to the spirit world. Well, now you're open. Now you've got to do the work. So a crystal works hand in hand. It's your best friend. And what it does, it'll go from one part of your body that it knows needs healing most of all, or cleansing or strengthening. And then once you've felt that, you think there's something wrong with it because it's not doing the same effect, but it's actually done what it's needed to do. I hope that makes sense. Best way to teach children their gift. Just love them and tell them how amazing they are. I've said to my daughter, she's the most amazing thing in the world, and she's now her living gift. She's now at the moment in Thailand, living a dream. That is the most powerful way. Just keep telling your children they are the most amazing, beautiful, powerful souls in the world. There is a darkness at the moment that is social media and some very manipulating people out there who keep saying, if you keep telling your children they're amazing, they're powerful, when they get older and they face the big wide world, then they're all frightened because now all of a sudden they're in the big wide world, they don't know what to do. That is BS to its highest form. I'll tell you something, guys. If you can feed your children and give them power and the feeding of children meaning positive energy, and keep telling them to believe in themselves. I'm not telling you to walk after them and pick them. You can do this. You can do this. By saying that, confirming to them that, oh, you know what? I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And my daughter, she was flying in aeroplanes at 15 years old on her own with confidence. Oh my God, that's terrible. What you're an abusive father. You should have gone with her. You see how the manipulating darkness tries to stop our children from believing in themselves. I met a woman who was named the worst mother in the world. that was specifically done to stop people or to put fear out there, to stop you from trusting your children to be okay. So she quickly went across the road to get something, came back again because it was raining. She didn't want a daughter to get wet, a little daughter to get wet and to catch a cold. The policeman waits for her and she gets arrested. So, you know, depending on what part of the world you live in, you know, you have to just be very careful. But what you can do in your own home, in your own vicinity, is teach your children to look after themselves, to take care of themselves, to dress themselves, to tell them how beautiful they are, well done, and just to that is the most powerful thing in the world, in my opinion. But how many people do that? Because we want to be good parents and we want to look after them. And you know what? Let them look after themselves and believe in them and trust in them. That's my humble opinion. Because what I've seen in children who wanted to take their lives, and I had many children for many years who wanted to kill themselves, is because their mothers and fathers mollycoddled them too much. And so there is a difference in what I say. You let your children find their own clothing, you let them buy their own things, you let them choose their own things, you let them make their own stuff, let them get, and just keep reaffirming that what they're doing is beautiful and keep encouraging them. Okay. Peter Sight would love to know about Peter Sight. Okay, so I got a piece here. This is Peter Sight. It's a fantastic crystal, guys. It really is a powerful crystal. They call it blue tiger as well. It comes from Namibia, which is in Africa, the Bobo Mountain and all around that region. It's a beautiful, powerful crystal. It's a highly strong connecting crystal. So if you want to connect to your higher self, it's also an amazing crystal to feel free, to have your freedom, to feel powerful. It's just an awesome crystal. Okay, next kind of healing is beautiful. The only thing I have with this is my personal opinion and it shouldn't be yours, but what I noticed when I was learning all these different types of healing when I first started many years ago was I just didn't feel as if I could move on. So I was given set information. This is how you do it. And I couldn't move on from there. And thus I realized fast that I'm only limiting myself to Reiki, to pranic, to whatever healing practice I was feeling and working at, and symbols and practices, and it's copy. And I realized that all of that is a great way, if you're a beginner, to give you confidence to say, well, I need to start somewhere. So brilliant, Reiki, brilliant. But what I did was when I started finding my own footsteps, when I started really doing the work, is when I started listening to me. So then I started doing that more and more, and I was giving healing sessions and people were saying, oh my God, I've never felt like this. I'm really? Yeah, I feel great. I want to learn this. Okay, one day I took the plunge and said, okay, I'll show you what I do. So I showed people what I do, and then I kept saying, no, don't do that. You're copying what I'm doing. What does it feel like to you? And breaking down that wall was the hardest thing at the start, and then it became really easy. And then people started feeling their own way. They started using their own technique. And then Pure Energy Healing was born. Pure Energy Healing is a technique that shows you how to become the most powerful healer you are. And that is amazing because you have your own technique and nobody can show you that. So 4 days in a Pure Energy Healing Academy on power, and it's amazing. So I hope that answers your questions. Any form of healing, if you're a beginner, then go for it. Go and do as many as you want. But really, always remember what I've just said. You are the healer and you've got to believe in yourself. And if a healing technique restricts you, then you'll figure it out. I can't move forward if all I can do is this. So I would say go beyond that, learn it, take what you feel from it, but then implement it into your own psyche, your own intuition, and then you become the most powerful healer in the world. Man, some people will say, oh my God, there was orbs all around you. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. So I think we shouldn't just jump and say every single thing is an orb, but there are times where you think, wow, that's amazing. What are orbs? You can break it down into many different levels of understanding and awareness. It could be spirit, it could easily be spirit, it could be your own energy, which is really creating a powerful. I mean, have you ever stood next to a computer when you're feeling like on top for your computer goes off? I mean, I can be at the post office and the computer doesn't work, and I'll say I have to move away from the computer. Why is that? Because the energy that you're creating when you've moved past the fear, worries, and negativity, it affects computers, and it does. You must know that it can affect TVs, it can affect music systems. So that is another thing that we have to bear in mind. So orbs can also be, and let me move on as well, moving of furniture, moving of things happening in the house often can be your own energy and is misinterpreted as spirit all the time. Not always, guys. It can be your own energy. You can walk underneath a light, a street light, and it goes off and on, and somebody will say, oh, that's spirit, and I'll say, no, I think that's your energy. So, and that's not egoistic. It's just that when you awaken to your higher self, you realize how powerful you are. And thus, when you come to the Pure Energy Healing Academy and learn that kind of energy work, then you realize that you can heal somebody 2,000 miles away. As easy as healing somebody right next to you. That's how powerful you are. Lemurian quartz. Okay. It's a beautiful crystal, Lemurian quartz. It's one of my favorites. It's a shamanic quartz. You can normally tell Lemurian by when it's cut. If you cut it that way, it will always have kind of like cut lines the opposite direction. But Lemurian quartz is a powerful quartz. I used to work with Lemurian quartz with a long stick, and I worked with it as it looked quite funny actually, but it worked really well. Energy can pass through wood, it can pass through metal, it can pass through anything. Therefore, when you're holding a wand, any kind of wand like this, like I don't know what this is, this could be smoky quartz in there, but anyway, there's a wand here, so you're using a wand and the energy that goes through will blast. But the secret is that your energy, which is the universal energy that comes through you, which is now yours, passes through the wand or passes through the crystal, and now you've got the energy of the crystal and the energy of the universe. So it's amazing to work with opening your chakras. It's amazing to work on healing your body. It's amazing to heal yourself on many different levels. So yes, I love it. It's a great, I haven't had any for ages. Please talk about, I met a guy called Don Tolman. Don Tolman, when I was basically working alongside him at the last retreat that we did on behalf of Lemon House, while he was sat there, he gave information about healing the eyes. Most people run to the doctors and get stronger and stronger glasses. Big mistake. What he suggests is that you strengthen the eyes, and you can do it. And I know you can. I'm 52 now. My eyes, I can still read fine. But sometimes my eyes go a bit weak, and then I can't see. And I remember 2 years ago, I literally was new. Now I can read fine. Why is that? Because I've healed myself, I've cleansed myself, I've cleared stress. Stress is part of why your eyes go blurry. Stress could be toxic people, toxic things that you see. Because when you're looking at things that are causing you issue, you naturally don't want to see it. So without knowing, you'll put a glaze over your eyes. Another thing, as we get older, we kind of think that everything deteriorates. Well, I know somebody 2 doors away from me called Parfit. He's 93 years old. He works till 12 o'clock at night. He's a super amazing man who works with all of these paperwork, architect. He's an architect. He's amazing. So don't tell me that it's hereditary or it's because I'm getting old. That doesn't work with me. Wash. What Don Tolman says is you can train your eyes to be, 20%, 30%. He's not saying it's a cure, but what he's saying is if you train your eyes enough, it works. There are many different ways of doing it. Food is one of them, which is carrots. If you snap a carrot, you'll see it looks like an eye. You probably already know this, but carrots, if you drink them daily, if you drink carrot juice at least twice a day, a cupful twice a day, that's great. Eating raw carrots through the day, That's great as well. Sun gazing strengthens the eyes, but only do it when the sun comes up and it goes down. Don't, you have to be careful, so don't damage your eyes. Sun gazing opens the doorway to the spiritual connection as well. That's another story. The other thing that Don Tolman talks about is getting, and you must go over to Don Tolman and look and see. I can't give you the 100% accurate information, but there is a system that he uses, which is a long piece of string tied to a tree. Stand back and put knots in them. I think it's 13 knots, something like that. I could be wrong, 13 knots. And what you do is you look at the first and then the third knot, and so you're strengthening your eyes. It's basically called exercising your eyes. There's lots of different ways. Go online, you'll find it, but it does work. And I know lots of people who strengthen their eyes. The other thing is Pure Energy Healing. Absolutely, I have seen people heal their eyes from energy healing work. Master Kokosui used to tell his clients as pranic healers, his practitioners, don't put your hand over a person's eye when they're over 80 years old for longer than 1 minute. I realized that Master Kokosui was a very powerful healer, and he was teaching what his experience was. What he didn't realize, I don't think, is that when you teach somebody something that you have, doesn't mean that you have it. So I can put my hand over my client's eyes for 1 hour and they can feel the benefit. So 1 minute wasn't enough, it wasn't working. And guess what? I thought I was doing something wrong. So you see, you have to be aware of when you're learning things from somebody, you have to always remember that I am not them. So maybe what I need to recognize is I'll try it. If it works, then maybe I have similar energy to this person. But if it doesn't work, then don't stop. Keep trying different things. And that's why you're here. You're not a copy. You've heard that so many times. I'm not a copy. You're not. You're you. And don't ever let somebody else make you think that they're better than you because they've done it for longer. I've seen 6 years old who had more power in him than I could ever imagine within myself. So don't ever fall for the guru. Don't ever fall for it. We're seeing more and more that the gurus are not what they say. And I've been saying it for 2 years to you guys. I've been saying it 16 years. Why? Because I met plenty of gurus and I saw straight through them. What they did have, though, is great information. So don't make the mistake of falling on your knees to a guru. Just say thanks for the information. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But don't fall for them as if they're your hero. They're just giving you information. Because the greatest and most powerfulest message that I say is I'm not the message. I'm just the messenger. And we all are. We're all messengers. Every one of us. So when I go out on the street, I can listen to a conversation next to me of two people that you may think are nobody, but they're giving me a message. I open a book and think, oh my God, my message is everything is a message. You can hear it. Okay? It's amazing, right? Okay. Brendan, this is, I love you, brother. You're amazing. If I'm put on a desert island and I can only take one oil, I presume you're saying one oil, one of my oils, right? Or just an oil. Okay, I don't know, but I'm guessing. One crystal of one person, choice, past and present, who will that be? I thought about it. Why am I going on a desert island? Would I be going on a desert island to find myself? If that's the case, I wouldn't want to go with anybody. I wouldn't want to go with anybody. I want to go on my own to find myself. If I'm going on a desert island to find my inner strength, to learn how to connect, how to learn how to feel patience and to connect with somebody and listen to them and not be judgmental and have to live that person, who would I take? That's a damn good question. Who would I take? I'd probably take my partner. That's who I'd take. What oil would I use? I've got to tell you guys, there's only one oil in my life that I feel is the best oil in the world, and it's the mixture of three. Anything in three has great meaning to me, and that is sage oil, 100% pure. That is Palo Santo from the tree, pure oil, 100%. And lastly, frankincense. It is the most amazing sacred oil. Put them three together, and of course you've got sacred oil, which I sell. Yeah, you said it, Rosa. Sacred oil. There's nothing more powerful than I've ever used in my life, and till this day it blows me away. Absolutely blows me away. So it is the sacred three for sure. Crystal, take a wild guess. Take a wild guess. Yeah, it's Moldavite. To this day, the more I learn about Moldavite, the more I realise I know nothing about it. The extraterrestrial energy within that fascinates me, and I think if I was on a desert island, it would be Moldavite. Would I want to connect to other lives, other worlds? I've just written a book called Seeing the Invisible. Part of that book talks about, yeah, I'm going to leave it there at that. I'm not going to talk about it, but this book is pretty powerful. But not only is it powerful, it's kind of making me a bit nervous, because what I've written about, I'm hoping that the world is a little bit more aware and awake to what's happening and around us, and we're not the only people in this world. It's not just human beings in this world, and I'm hoping to share the stories of what I saw firsthand, and I hope people can relate, well, at least say, well, I believe what he's saying. I might not believe in what he's saying, but I believe what he's saying he believes. That would be a nice thing. So I've tried to make that as plain as possible. Now we're now at 48 minutes. We've done pretty well, haven't we? I cannot wait for the Moldavite book. Neither can I. Neither can I. We're waiting for, because the Moldavite is growing and growing, and I'm learning more and more. We're adding more to it. So when is it going to be ready? I don't know. I really thought it was going to be ready within 2 months ago, but I don't know. I'll tell you when it will be ready, when it's meant to be ready. And at that moment, I believe the Moldavite book will be ready for you and the world to open and say, you know what, this is believable, because I've got to say, there's some unbelievable stuff in this book that has blown me away and my clients. Yeah, well, you don't have to save too much for a Moldavite. Just get a little piece. Don't be buying a big piece, please. Not good. Buy a little piece, because when you buy a big piece, you start, first of all, you think everything, oh, it's going to be powerful, and you can stop yourself from actually feeling it, right? Buy yourself a little piece, first of all, and see how you go. That is always my suggestion. Thank you for the Q&As. This is brilliant. Thank you so much, Belinda. I really appreciate that. I appreciate all of you. It's 50 minutes now. What's your opinion? Oh, it's that. Say you recommend stuttering. Stuttering's quite easy. In my humble opinion, what I've seen and felt is it's genius. We talked about this the other day, me and my partner. It's genius. And what stuttering is because there's so much information within that person, so much spiritual awareness, so much power, so much energy, so much brilliance, that it's hard to get it all out at once. So you want to say everything at once, and thus it's a struggle to get it out. So it's all about finding your peace and balance, meditating, and I believe that stuttering disappears when you find your inner power and peace and realize how powerful you truly are. But that's another story. Okay, Pure Energy Healing course, you've just asked. Yeah, that's April the 10th, 11th, 12th and 13th. This is the last course of the year. I'm only doing 2. That's where you get to learn everything that I've kind of shared with you here. You get to hear all of these things, but much more in depth. You get to learn how to heal. You get to learn how to heal yourself. You get to learn how to heal the world, basically. And it's a beautiful thing. April the 10th till the 13th. And that's in Canada, Toronto, and we specifically made it that it's an Easter long weekend. So I don't know how many seats are available. If it's full, don't blame me, but I hope there's still some seats available. So if you're wondering whether you should go or not, then that's something that you need to figure out yourself. you shouldn't really want somebody to tell you to do a course. You should just feel it. So for me, this feels right, I'm going on it, then you go. Why am I going? I don't know. It feels right, I'm going. That's any course you go on. Go with your feeling. Remember, we talked about this. What is your spiritual path and journey? It's going with what feels right to you. And I don't give a damn what anybody else thinks and feels. This is my life. It's my journey. We stop ourselves because of what other people may think, or what we think other people may think or feel. My God, it's your journey. You came into this world on your own. You're going to leave on your own. So do things for yourself every now and again. And if they really love you, they'd say, well done, go for it. Okay, so I kept you all here, didn't I? Because it's a giveaway. Yay! We like giveaways. So, this beauty that's worked with me for, I can't remember how long. It's a beautiful green tourmaline with lovely quartz. It just feels so beautiful. It's energetic, it's healing, it's powerful. If you can get hold of any kind of tourmaline, green tourmaline, or any kind of tourmaline, it's a beautiful crystal. Great for grief, great for healing, powerful crystal. But this means a lot to me, so I hope you love it, whoever you are. And we picked the names out today, so here we go. Well, only a few minutes ago, it's all here. So the person who's just won this one is, I hope I've got this right. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, we picked that out. There, Leslie Ann Healer. So Leslie Ann, well done Leslie Ann, whoever you are, congratulations. Look after it, treat it well, and the secret with this crystal is always work with it and keep it with you. Keep it warm, keep it safe, love it, and you'll really work wonders with it. And it says you're a healer, so well done you. I did some signing in these books. Here we go. There you go. Little messages. This is From My Heart to Yours. This was a book that I channeled over the years of inside here there is a message. So the best way, if you win this, there's 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In fact, we're putting one more. There's 6. There's 6 of them. So what you do is, if you see a number, like now, I've just seen a number 1, 2, 3, I'd go to number 1, 2, 3 and read it because I saw that number. Or I'd just quickly do that and then read it. So this is a daily affirmation. It really does work. It really works. And if you're with somebody and you've got it in your bag, or if you've got it in your man bag, which I have, you take it out with your friend and then you just say, think of a number. And then it's real fun and you'll be surprised how spirit is amazing. So the winners of these 6 books are, okay, there's the first one. I'm just going to hold them up like that. Okay, so that is Lana. So Lana, you won. Okay, next one. So this is Kathleen Home. Well done, Kathleen. And next one, there you go. Yay! And the next one is that Sean Carroll? Next one, I'm rubbish at reading, you know that. There you go. That's Luis. Next one. There you go. Yay! That's Sushyam. Next one, let's have a look. There you go, that's the last one. Congratulations everybody, you're doing great. Next one is Island Lass. Well done. So they're going to come to you with love, from my heart to yours. Also as a joint gift from Lemon House, because we came together. I decided to do one more, and I'm gonna gift this. This is what I've been working with now for a long time. This is one of my prototypes as well. This is what's called the trios, what you asked me earlier on. So this is what I believe is the most powerful trio in the world, and they really are gorgeous. And this one is very special to me. So what you're looking at here is genuine Moldavite here in the middle. This is what I was talking about, the great energy absorbing. Okay, that's Tektite, fabulous. And then this is a Herkimer diamond from New York. Really beautiful combination. And I'm going to gift this away with this person here. So that's who it goes to. And that is, And that is somebody called Andrew Music, artist. Okay, so this is going to come to you. I guess on a final note, it's been 1 hour, and I think that's good enough. My voice is nearly gone now. I really appreciate you all for staying. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. I want to say thank you so much for supporting Bajerski.com, Lemon House, and the Pure Energy Healing Academy. It's kind of all one, all loving, all out there to try and help as many people as we can. We're trying to heal the world one person at a time. My goal this year is to be as kind and as caring as I've always been, to share information that has helped me moved on from being a grumpy old fart to being a nicer, kinder person. But I still fall and still trip. I still say things that I shouldn't do. Doesn't mean that I'm perfect. I'm so far away from a guru than you can imagine. I am still learning. But I do share things that really made a difference in my life, and more so the thousands of people that I was healing over these amazing years. What I saw, the transition from suffering to healing, from illness to health, is what I try and share with you daily. And I do it from the bottom of my heart. But I'm always aware that each individual is so very unique. And there is no such thing as a cure of one thing. I believe that you have to look and feel within. Ask yourself the right questions and you will find the right answers. Listen to people who have knowledge for the right reasons. So if I'm selling lemons and I sell them very well, then if I want to learn about lemons and know about lemons, I'll go to that lemon man. So again, listen to the right people. And when you're telling me all the time that I'm upset because somebody said something horrible on social media, I'll always say to you, well, that's because you're listening to the wrong people. And that is a big statement. Stop listening to wrong people, okay? Have a great day, guys. Love you all. That's it. We're done. See you later. Bye, guys. Bye.